Hari. Then බලන්න networking chapter 6. So around 40 marks for the exam is allocated from the network chapter. So first one, we are going to discuss about what is data communication. Communication is a process of transmitting data between two or more communicating devices over the transmission media. So two or more communicating devices are going to communicate with each other with the help of transmission media. So establishing such connection between computing is called computer network. Computer network means data communication media. The communication, establishing the communication, data communication we call as a computer networking. When we consider about the component of the data in a communication model is first one, source. Source means the sender, the person who is sending, person or machine which is sending. Then generate, the sender is generate, prepare data to be transmitted. So the data packets are issued by the sender. Then transmission system responsible for the transmitting data toward the destination. So transmission system uh, is responsible for transmitting data toward the destination. So destination means the receiver. Receiver receives data from transmission system and hands over it to the application. So now when you look at this one, sender is sending data to the receiver through the transmission medium. So data can be a message. So there is a protocol, some kind of rules and regulations setup is running on. Now, when I'm explaining, if I explain it in Sinhala even, මොනවාරි සිංහලෙන් කිව්වත් මොලට එනවනේ. Even though I tell it in English even, you can understand. So if I change my protocols, that means communication media, the language which I'm calling Sinhala English, you can understand. So your brain is capable to understand the protocol what I'm saying. You can rule set up එකක් වගේ. මම සිංහලෙන් කිව්වත් ඔලුවට තේරෙනවා. Even though I tell in English even you can understand. Okay? Then that protocol will be executing in the other hand side. That means receiver side also is there. So protocol understands sending message. Then what is computer network? The computer network consists of two or more computers that are linked together using communication medium in order to share resources. Look at it again. Computer network consists of two or more computer devices that are linked together using a communication medium in order to share the resources. So using computer network, mainly we are doing sharing resources. It can be a hardware, it can be a software, not only one. There can be hardware as well as softwares. So signal is electronic voltage or current which varies with the time. It's changing according to the time. It is used to transfer data from one end to another. Now you can hear me. That's why in the physical class, my sound waves is when I'm calling, then the sound waves are coming to your ear through the air particles. But when those who are in online, through the transmission media, my voice is going through, then it is coming out of from your speakers, then again it is going through the air particles. Okay, so there are different transmission media there for the online students. So now there are two types of signals. So audio signal is coming as analog signal, but within a computer, inside the computer, signals are moving like digital. You are getting my voice, those who are in physical class, getting my voice as analog signal. But those who are online, they will get the sounds up to your computer as digital signal. That means from my voice to microphone in the laptop, it is moving like analog signal. Then after microphone detects it, it will move like digital signal. That means it is converted. That digital signals come up to your speaker as digital signal. Once it comes to speakers, then it will generate the audio output. Then it will convert into the analog waves and come into your ears. Okay, so now analog signals in continuous wave from nature and represent continuous electromagnetic waves. So continuous wave mean that means it has, if you take the analog wave like this, so each and every position contain the value, precise value. Okay, that we call it as electromagnetic. Example signals are, we can take light signals, temperature, sounds, those things are the analog signals. But when we compare with the digital signals contain only the states, on state, off state, on state and off state. And on state is high, okay, off state is low. We says 1 and 0, but keep in mind 0 is not an exact 0. Low voltage, it may be 5, if the high is 5, low may be 4, 2, 3, likewise. Just think this low, if it is 0, that means the machine is always off in it. Is that so? Every time it is not going to off. හැමලේ machine එක off වෙවි on වෙවි යන්නේ. 0 කියන්නේ low voltage එක. Low voltage එක නිසා එයා up and down එකේ move වෙනවා මිසක් හැම වෙලෙම බිඳුවටම යන්නේ නැහැ. බිඳුවට ආසන්න වශයෙන් සමානයි. What is digital signal? Okay, before that, check this is clear up to that. Any issues? What is digital signal? Digital signals for discrete value, and hence it means that they use specific values to represent any information. In digital signal, only two values are used to represent something, 1 and 0. So it uses the 1 and 0, high and low. Okay, then we can say high and low. It may be negative even. It may be somewhere higher than the 0. 5, 2 also can be there. What are the properties of signal? Amplitude, the highest of the wave measured in meters. So the height of the wave, the height of the wave we can measured in the meters, height. Then amplitude. So here in this down wave, the amplitude is high, then again low, again high, again low. So amplitude is varying there, changing. Shall we write it? That's important. Just write. Properties of signal. Short on. In the book. Then next one, what are the properties of a signal? So we take amplitude. Next one, frequency. For 1 second, how many cycles can be there? So in signal we say tappareta water. How many cycles can be rotated per 1 second? Okay, the number of complete waves that passes a point on within 1 second, measured in hertz. We measured it in with the hertz. Okay, then lambda we take as a wavelength. So number of cycles per second. Okay, the wave signals for 1 particular second, how many cycles can be there? We take it as frequency. Now by looking that, can you count and tell? If there is 1 second, how many cycles? There are 10 cycles, that means 10 hertz. First one, 1, 2, 3 cycles, that means 3 hertz. Okay. Then wavelength. The distance between adjacent present, that means peak, measured in meters. So adjacent peak values, if that means the length between adjacent peak, we can take as wavelength. Phase is a position at a point in a time instance a wave from the cycle. So that means just think if you are moving something by හිතන්නකෝ බලන්න ඔන්චිලා ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්නේ 0th පොසිෂන් එකේනේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඉඳගත්තු ගාම ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරි හෑන්ග් කරලා තියෙනවනේ මෙතන ඔයගොල්ලෝ ස්ටාර්ට් එකේදී 0 පොසිෂන් ඊට පස්සේ ටිකක් ඇන්ගල් එකක් ගන්නවා හරි එතකොට මෙතන පොඩි ඇන්ගල් එකක් තියෙනවා we call it as phase then go backward and then starting again going upward again going downward. So there is some angle from the edge. So we call it as face. එයා හදන කෝණේ කොච්චරද කියලා. හරි? You better copy this one later. Then what is the propagation speed in media? So this propagation speed mean the which is depend to measure the speed, that means the speed at which wave propagates, transmit through the given medium. Propagation speed is vary from medium to medium depending on the properties of the medium. If that means if you keep the head near on the table, you can see hear the sound. Then if you are inside the water when you are swimming, just imagine when you are swimming, you can hear the some sort of sound, but it is not clear. Like air particles. අපි ඉන්න තැන අනුව අපේ මේ air transmission medium එකෙන් medium එකට වෙනස් වෙනවා එයාගේ ස්පීඩ් එක. ඒතර යකඩ එක නම් ස්පීඩ් එක වැඩි. කෝච්චියක් යන ඈත එකක් හොඳට අහගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මේ air particles හරහා කොහොමද එන්නේ? ඒකත් ටිකක් වැඩි. හැබැයි වතුරට ගිහපුවම සද්ද අඩුවෙන් ඇහෙනවා. වතුරදී අඩුයි. එළිය සද්ද ඇතුළේ නෙමෙයි. එළිය සද්ද ඇතුළේ නෝ අඩුයි. හරි. ඇතුළේ වෙනස් වෙනවනේ. Okay, then next one, properties of a signal. Properties of the signal transmission media. Latency, the network latency is an expression of how much time it takes for a unit of data travel from one point to another. Latency is usually measured in milliseconds. කොච්චර වෙලාවක් යනවද? How much time taken to transmit from one point to another, we take it as latency. Then next one, bandwidth. Okay, so bandwidth. So bandwidth, there are two explanation. That means there are some conflicts in the given definition. Okay, the amount of data which can flow through in given amount of time, as given in the book as all definition. It is usually expressed in the bits per second (bps) in the all teacher guide. So it is usual. The modern network typically have speed measured in millions of bits per second, megabytes per second, then billions of instruction per second, gigabytes per second. But when you Google and check it, you will get bandwidth is a range of frequencies and measured in hertz. So in Google definition, that means new definition, bandwidth is a range of frequencies and measured in hertz. Bandwidth is the difference between the upper and the lower frequency in continuous set of frequency. It is typically measured in hertz. But the definition which is given in the teacher guide, it's difference from the Google definition. That's what I gave both. Okay, so bandwidth, you better write the highlighted part in the, that is the most important one that is available in the Google. The bandwidth is the range of frequency measured in hertz. That means difference between the upper and the lower frequencies in continuous set of frequencies, typically measured in hertz. When you look at this one, think the first one like dialogue. Okay, this is file. Think I purchased around 40 GB. Here also 40 GB. Okay. The dialogue is a little bit slower, the bandwidth also slow, very low comparing to the fiber. Which data package will finish soon? Fiber. It's so more quality. Within 15 days, it will finish. But dialogue can use long time, but it is not much quality like this one. Okay, so bandwidth mean high and low, difference between high and low band, high bandwidth, high frequency and low frequency, the difference of frequency. Then you will see if you have high bandwidth and some kind of limited capacity of the data package, then it will finish soon. Okay, then now we are going to discuss about the actually noise is impairments, බාධාවක් කියනවා. Transmission impairments වලට අපි noise එක ගන්නවා. Then attenuations උත් wave එකේ ශක්තිය අඩු වෙනවා impairments විදිහට ගන්නවා. Then distortion අපි ගන්නවා impairments. Topic එකක් කියනවා transmission impairments. මම මේක explain කරලා ගන්නවා ටිකනේ. අර propertiesම තමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි wave එකක තියෙන දේවල් ටික තමයි මේ කතා කරන්නේ, but you should know what are these points. Transmission impairments. Impairments are damages, loss of transmitting signal while it is transmitting through the transmission media. So while we are transmitting the data, so there can be barriers or there can be damages for the data signal. Okay, so the noise may be a distraction or the attenuation, distortion. Those three can be occur while data transmission. It will damage the signal, the quality of signal will reduce. Then now look at first one is noise according to the order, third one. So noise is these are impairments. Noise is a received signal that makes no sense. So if you get a screaming sound and the original signal, then if these two are overlap, you will get noisy signal. So noise is an impairments damage. It can be defined as unwanted energy from the source where other than the transmitter. So if these two are overlapped together, then you will get unwanted signal with the noisy signal. It is not clear. Sometimes another child is talking between you and the teacher. Will you get the signal properly? No. It will damage the signal. Ne? මැද්ද එකෙන් ස්ක්‍රීනින් සවුන්ඩ් එක මොකක් හරි දැම්මොත් අර අපිට යවන සිග්නල් එක යන්නේ නැහැ. අර දෙක ඕවර්ලැප් වෙච්ච නිසා. Then attenuation. Attenuation is a reduction of signal energy as it travels through the given medium. So while the signal is traveling, it can reduce the strength of that. That means reduce the signal energy. දැන් මේ කතා කරන සද්ද ඇහිද ground එක ගාව ඉන්න කාට හරි? නෑ. ඒක energy එක frequency එක අඩු වෙනවා. frequency එක මත dependent energy ඈතට යන්න barriers air particles තියෙනවා. ඒතොර ඒක quality එක මේ signal එකේ power එක වහිනවා. normally analog signals එකට මේ knock happy යන්නේ. ඒතොර ඒක ඈතට යන්න යාගේ strength එක බහිනවා. හරි. ඒතොර දැන් මේ කටහඬ ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ ගේට්ටුව ගාව. distance එක වැඩිනේ. ඒ සද්දෙත් එන්න යන්න එතන තියෙන අංශයෙන් අංශයට happy යනවා. හැබැයි වහින දවසක ටිකක් හොඳට ඇහෙනවා. පාන්දරට වගේ වැස්ස දවසකට clear. ස්ටේෂන් එකේ සද්දෙත් ඇහෙනවා. ඒ atoms තියෙනවනේ අර යන්න. ඒතර සද්දෙන් දවල් වෙලාවට වෙන වෙන සද්ද තියෙනකොට සිග්නල් එක ක්ලියර් නෑ. තව සද්ද වැඩිනේ. මහ රෑ හැමෝම නිදාගත් වෙලාවට ගොඩාක් දුර සද්ද ඇහෙනවා. හැබැයි දවල්ට ඒ සද්ද ඇහුන්නේ නෑ. ඇයි? ඒතර වෙන ඕවර්ලැප් වෙන සිග්නල්ස් නැති නිසා. දවල්ට මේ රෑට ඇහෙන්නේ දවල්ට ඇහෙන්නේ ඕවර්ලැප් වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම බීට් තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඇදට සිග්නල් එක යන්නේ සිග්නල් බ්‍රේක් වෙනවා. Okay, then next one, distortion. Distortion is an alterations of the property of a transferred signal caused by the caption and the inductions of the communication signal. So while the signal is transmitting, there can be some barrier. As a result of that, it the signal may be damaged, distort some portion. Okay, so that one we call distortion. එක බාධාවක් කියන්නේ හිතන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ Bluetooth headset Bluetooth එයා මොනවද මේක ගහනවානේ earpod ගහනවානේ හරි ඒක කාමරයකින් තව කාමරයකට යන ෆෝන් එක තැනක තියලා මොකද වෙන්නේ සිග්නල් එක ඩවුන් වෙනවනේ චුට්ටක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කාමරයෙන් එළියට යනකොට ආයෙ ඩවුන් වෙනවා පොඩක් කරලා බලන්න දොරෙන් ෆෝන් එක ළඟ තියදී හරි අනිත් කාමරේට පොඩක් ගිහලා බලන්න දොරෙන් ඇතුලට ගිහලා දොර පොඩක් වහන්න අර සිග්නල් එක පොඩි වෙලාවක ඩැමේජ් වෙනවා අර බැරියර්ස් නිසා කාමරේ බිත්තිය සමහර සිග්නල් වල බැරියර්ස් වෙනවා. ඒකයි මේ කාමර ගාන අනුව සිග්නල් එක ගෙදර ඩවුන් වෙන Wi-Fi තියෙනවා. හරි. So those three we can take as a transmission impairment: noise, attenuation, distortion. If the signal is like this, so repeaters are used to amplify the signal. So when the signal is transmitting, then signal strength, that means strength will amplitude will get low. So then we use the amplifiers to amplify the signal. Amplifiers දාලා මේක amplify කරනවා. ඒතර ඒ වගේ වලට සමානව repeat කරන්න. We call those things as repeater. Regenerator, when the signal is getting down, then we restore the pulse. අපෝ ඒක තිබ්බ විදිහටම හදලා restore කරනවා. So we call these two as regenerators and repeaters.